I figured this would be a great opportunity just to touch on a few of the reasons why I have personally decided to drive, maintain, and own a 24-year-old Nissan R50 Pathfinder. And initially, when I bought this thing, it was meant to be a weekend rig, just primarily to go camping and then some off-roading. But it's really evolved over the last 4 years. Next month would make 5 years since I've had the rig. And to be quite honest, I've been really happy with it. It's been a joy to own. Yes, there's always something to fix. That's just how it goes when you own an older vehicle. But for me, it's fun. It's a challenge that I've willingly accepted, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Some of the benefits of owning an older rig like this one, I don't have to worry about it getting dinged or scratched, whether it's on the trail or in many cases in a parking lot. So I don't have to worry about those things. More importantly, no car payments. Yes, because I own it outright. I don't have to make any payments to anyone every month. The vehicle's mine. It's mine to enjoy. And to be quite honest, that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about owning an older vehicle such as this one. The freedom of not having any car payments. Cheaper insurance, and it works for me in my budget. Another cool thing is it gives me the opportunity to learn new things and to hone my mechanical skills. In the past, before I acquired this vehicle, the only other vehicle that I really spent a lot of time working on is my 5th gen Nissan Altima. And I feel like that gave me the confidence to dig in and deal with a lot of the everyday issues that I encounter with my R50. There's not too much that I wouldn't be willing to do, except for really complex and labor-intensive stuff, such as a clutch replacement. That's something that I gave to my local repair shop, mainly because I didn't possess the knowledge, didn't have the tools, and just didn't have the time. It's an 8-hour job with a professional at the helm. Another thing that I love the most about having my R50 is the fact that it's a blank canvas. I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want to it. As you guys can see, it has evolved. It's come a long, long, long way. One of the first things that I did to this R50 to make it mine was to upgrade the wheels with a set of aftermarket steel wheels. And of course, various other modifications. 2-inch lift kit all around, SE luggage rack, roof basket, CB radio, LED off-road light pods, manual locking hubs, and the list goes on and on. Some might say that it's not smart to dump all one's money into a rig such as this one. I have about $4,800 stuffed into this thing, and it was built with intention. Everything that I've done to my rig up until this point was intentional. I wouldn't change it for the world. One of the things that I really enjoy doing outside of camping is off-roading. And that's something that I've really come to enjoy. Not just post-lift, but even before I lifted my R50, I'd been taking this thing off-road quite a bit. And that was mainly to test everything out and make sure the truck was reliable, and more importantly, that it was gonna meet my needs on the trail. And it definitely exceeded my expectation, guys. When I first bought this thing, it did have some issues. It had a check engine light for emissions issues with the evap system. We had a leak. The owner had already purchased a charcoal canister and vent valve that was also included in the purchase price for my R50. And essentially that's where the repair process started, was getting that particular issue with the evap system sorted. And even with that, we still had some other underlying issues within the evap system. We ended up needing to replace the evap check valve, and this lives under the R50. This is located near the proportioning valve for the rear brakes. It was kind of fun to get to. That pretty much took care of all of the evap issues. Yes, we did still have some other underlying things that we needed to fix, like the mass airflow sensor. We needed to replace that. We also replaced the idle air control valve. We replaced the downstream O2 sensor on bank 2. The mass airflow sensor was the last thing that we had to fix regarding the check engine light. We haven't had a check engine light in, man, it's been well over a year at this point since we've had a check engine light. And that just goes to show, if you're willing to do the work and replace a few parts here and there, R50 can be a really good, cheap, reliable source of transportation. And if you're like me, you get the extra added bonus of being able to have some fun with it. I know for a lot of us, it's not so much about having fun, it's about having basic transportation. But if you're willing to dabble and think outside the box a bit, the possibilities are endless. Like I said, it's a blank canvas. Not to brag, but I get a lot of compliments on this thing. A couple of weeks ago, I went to go pick up my prescriptions at a local CVS, and a young lady that was working the window, the second I pulled up, she's like, "Oh, that's such a nice truck." Initially, she thought it was an Xterra, and I said, "No, it's a R50 Pathfinder." She said, "Oh my gosh, and it's a manual?" I was like, "What you know about a manual?" She said, "I love manuals." This young lady, she couldn't have been no more than, I'll say 20. She was like maybe 20 years old. She was in her 20s. Yeah, I just thought that was super cool. When you have a rig such as this one that you've put some time into and you've built it out, made it yours by customizing things, it makes enough of a statement that when you ride around, people take notice. I know it sounds kind of corny and dumb because most of you there on the interwebs, you don't care about an R50 Pathfinder. In fact, many of you think that it's like the ugly duckling of the SUV world. And you know what? You're probably right. But that's why I love it so much, because it's hated on so much, you know? So for me, I like going against the grain. I like things that other people don't like, and that's okay. I get a lot of negative comments about the R50 Pathfinder and why did I choose to make an entire channel about a rig that costs $2,000, and it's like, I did it because that's what I want to do. You know, this is something that I'm passionate about, and I don't need anyone else's approval. Now, for those of you that are out there that appreciate what I've done with this truck, I appreciate you guys as well. And for the naysayers, my response is, so what? For those of you that have an old rig, even if it's not an R50 Pathfinder, you know exactly what I mean. This was my choice to purchase this rig and ride it around. And like I said, for me, Nissan's in my blood. I've been riding around in Nissan since I was a kid, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yes, modern day Nissans suck. I will be the first to admit it. I have a 2015 Nissan Altima, so I know firsthand. I had to have my CVT replaced at 50,000 miles. Luckily for me, it was covered under warranty. And you know what? I vowed never to buy another new Nissan. If I'm getting a Nissan anything, it's gonna be like 2002 and older, because this is the time before Renault really got their hands into everything and started destroying the company as a whole. So for me, it only makes sense. And because my R50 is a manual, it makes it even that much more enjoyable to own. And not throwing shade, not talking negative about anyone that has an automatic R50 Pathfinder, because I almost ended up with one myself. I came this close to purchasing one. And it just so happens, as I was walking away from the automatic R50 Pathfinder that I didn't want, the owner of this rig finally got back to me and was like, hey, are you still interested? And I was like, yes, I am absolutely still interested. What's your address? And it just so happens he was about 5 minutes around the corner from where I was checking out this other R50. And I went, I seen the truck, and the rest is history. Again, I was intentional. I prefer a manual. It's how I connect with the road. Not saying that anyone that drives an automatic is less of a driver, but for me, I feel like anyone that can drive a manual transmission vehicle is special in a sense that they could pretty much drive anything. It's an art form of sorts. So I'm just trying to keep it alive, that's all. For me, the R50 Pathfinder, it checks all the boxes. Personally, I feel like my rig shines in all aspects of use, especially on the open road, and then occasionally off-roading too. It's not something that I have to give a lot of thought to, I just do it. Another thing that I really enjoy about owning the R50, there's always gonna be a challenge of some sort where it concerns working on the old rig. I enjoy the challenges. Now, if you're not a person that enjoys the challenges of working on an older rig, such as this one, the lack of availability of aftermarket support, yeah, this might not be the platform for you. But if you like doing things the hard way like I do, this is a perfect place to start. And if you ask me, the R50 Pathfinder, it's a hidden gem, except it's in plain sight. Ask anyone that owns one of these rigs that has built it out. They'll tell you, this thing is worth having. I've driven newer vehicles. As soon as you got them off the lot, they just became a huge basket case of issues. Where it concerns my R50 Pathfinder, I haven't had many issues, not ones that I would consider to be a deal breaker. More importantly, everything still works. Yeah, we've had to fix a few things here and there. It's nothing outside of the norm. And the cool thing for me and many of you, especially if you're a hobbyist like myself, if you know your way around the junkyard, you can fix this thing pretty cheap and keep it and maintain it, keep it on the road without breaking the bank. And that's mainly why I wanted to have this discussion with you guys. I find that it's more enjoyable and easier to deal with by doing most of the work myself. There's gonna be some things that you're not gonna be able to take care of yourself. Like I said, clutch replacement, that was something that I outsourced immediately because that was just too big of a job for me. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I've taken care of pretty much everything else outside of that. There's freedom to be had with owning an older vehicle such as this one. Things can be fixed relatively cheaply. And in many cases, you can fix it yourself. You don't even have to get a shop involved. And that's what I love the most. That's also another reason why I started my channel and documented everything that I've done with the rig up until this point to show you guys how easy some of these things are to do yourself. And for the things that are more involved, yes, absolutely. Give it to your local trusted shop. I am not here to tell you that, hey, you need to fix everything yourself 100% and don't rely on anyone, because that would be just incorrect. You're going to have to lean on someone someday for something. But if you can handle the regular everyday stuff and some complex issues when they arise, I say go for it. I enjoy turning wrenches. I enjoy problem solving. I enjoy figuring things out. It makes the conversation that much more interesting. So yeah, guys, at the end of the day, is it a perfect truck? Absolutely not. But I tell you what, it's perfect for me. Thanks for stopping by the Camper Dan Files. And until next time, keep using your Pathfinder as a pathfinder, on or off the pavement.